This
right?
conference will
So
now be
how
recorded.
an EC2 instance life cycle will start from the launch. It will go to pending and then running, and from running you can reboot, and then you can terminate or you can stop the instance. Okay. And we also discussed that the public IP will not change if you are rebooting the system. So today I'm going to prove it to you that, and the public IP will change, okay, once you stop the instance. But the EBS volume will remain persistent. It means your data will not go anywhere. Okay. So EBS volume is that disk where your AMI, that is Amazon Machine Image, or the operating system will get installed. Along with that, you can also install your application data, right? So this is what we discussed, and there are three options to launch an EC2 instance. That is, first one is on demand, that is pay as you go, and the second one is reserved instance, like discount rate for 12 months or 36 months, and the spot instance. So we saw all these options, right? Okay, so today we are going to continue our journey with respect to EC2 instance. Okay, so let me log into my AWS management console. Right, and I need to pass the AMI, I mean MFA code OTP. Just a second. Hey, black phone, black phone, black phone, So I will enter 157566. Yes, I have logged in. Right. Okay. So now let me launch the EC2 instance again, and I will show you that IP will change when you stop the instance. Okay. So you can name it as EC2 demo. And now I am selecting the AMI as Amazon Linux, and instance type is T2 micro, and key pair I am selecting. All right. And you can, in under the network settings, you can edit and you can select your own VPC, which we selected, right? And you have to enable an existing security group. So demo EC2, and as I discussed yesterday, you can pass the user data here. Okay. So let me select that, and let me check the subnets if it is having the route to the internet gateway. So go to VPC And what is the subnet I am passing here? That is test ECS provisioning public US East. So US East 1B, right? So US East 1B, correct. So check the routing table. Yes, it is having the route table which I added yesterday. And you can compare the security group rules. Yes, it is working fine. So select that security group. And here you can add the user data. So I'm going to select the user data. Yeah, so this is the user data. I'm going to copy this and paste it. Where? Into the user data. Okay. Okay, I'm going to change something here. Welcome to EC2 demo, guys. So I'm going to change here and I'm going to launch the instance. Yes. So this is totally fine. So I got the public IP address, and please note the public IP. As you can see, it is in the pending state again. And if you refresh, keep on refreshing, it will change from pending to running in a moment. Yes, as you can see, it's in the running state, and the public IP is 54.162.33.49. So this is the public IP, and I'm going to paste it here, and we'll wait for a couple more minutes so that the script should install all the packages, right? So we'll wait for some moment. So as you can see, welcome to EC2 demo, guys. So yesterday it didn't come because we had not attached the internet gateway to the subnet. I mean in the routing table. So now it is coming. So I didn't even log into my server, and you can see our application is up and running fine. Okay. So this is totally fine. Now let us check the instance. What and all we are having inside the instance, right? So in every instance there are details. So you can see, and in AWS every resources will have its own ID. For example, it's the internet gateway will have the internet gateway ID, and instance here will have the instance ID, the public IP address, the private IP address, instance state, host name, private IP, DNS name, the VPC, okay, isn't it? Then the subnet ID and the AMI ID, okay, and what platform it is running. So all the details you can see here. Okay. Now, next under the security tab, you can see the inbound rules. So this the first element are the inbound rules, meaning what type of protocol you are allowing. Like for now, I am allowing only the SSH and the HTTP, that is port number 80, and this means from anywhere they can connect. Okay, and we have already discussed the outbound rules will be allowed for all the port and all the protocols in the security groups. Now under the networking, you will see the details related to the network interface, that is public IP, the VPC ID, private IP address, DNS name, the subnet ID, the availability zone, and the network interface. So this is the network interface, the NIC card, which I was telling you about. Okay, to which the security groups gets attached. Okay, and coming to the storage, it is nothing but a volume or the EBS volume, that is elastic block storage. For now, as you can see, the size is only 8 GB. Okay, and the status checks, it means the system health checks, that is the system is valid in the sense it is healthy or not. In other words, the system is performing as per the desired state, so that will indicated by status checks. So both the check says it is healthy. And monitoring, like as I told you, for detail analysis there is various aspects like memory utilization, CPU utilization, which similar to, so this kind of details you will see in our this thing in the task manager. If you go, you will see the CPU and memory and disk utilization and network. The same thing will be observed in the monitoring section. And tag is something you can add additional tags. Okay, so these are the values of a, or these are the attributes of a EC2, that is elastic compute cloud. Okay, that is perfectly fine, and our application is also running. Welcome to EC2 demo, guys. Okay, that is fine. Now what will happen if someone deletes it? Okay, now I wanted to prove you guys that IP address will change, right? So this IP address will change, that is 54.162.33.14. Okay, let me prove you that. So go to instance state and stop the instance. Okay, now as you can see, as I mentioned in the diagram, it is changing its state from stopping, from running to stopping state. See here, so stopping state, see. Okay, some from stopping state, and from stopping it will be reaching to stopped state. Now what is happening here? The public IP is gone. The public IP is gone. Meaning what? See, this is not permanent. This public IP, the normal public IP is not permanent. Once you stop the instance, that is, this IP address is given back to the Amazon pool of IP addresses, so that somebody else can utilize the IP addresses. Because public IP is not your property until and unless you purchase it or you own it. Okay, in IPv4 we are already falling short of IP addresses, so that is the reason we are going to IPv6, where we have large number of IP addresses with respect to public IP. But now as you can see, but the private IP will not change because this is our internal IP addresses which is used for internal communication. Okay, now if I refresh this the page, it will be go, in the sense go, in the sense it will not work out because the IP is assigned to somebody else or it is given back to the Amazon, so this page will not work. So very soon you will find that cannot be reached or page not found. See, cannot be reached. This is because the IP address is changed and our server is also down. That is stopped. Now again I will turn back the machine. See here. It says successfully started the, so this is the instance ID. Now if you refresh, so now I got the another IP address. So I need to copy this and I need to paste it here. 1 second. So now the same application is working for the different IP address. So this indicates that the moment you stop the instance, your EBS volume is stays with you and the CPU and the RAM is deallocated, and the next you whenever you turn on the server, it will be launched in the another hardware. So that is why you are getting the different type of IP address. Different type of IP address. You're getting the point? So that is why this IP address is changed. The moment you stop the instance, it is no guarantee that whenever you start the instance again, it will be launched in the same physical hardware. It will be launched in the same physical hardware. Getting the point? Okay. So the IP is changed. Now let me reboot the machine. Will the IP change? No, it will not change. So I am rebooting. It says successfully rebooted, but this IP will not change. Okay, it will take some time, but it will come up. Okay, now it is not reachable because it is rebooting. So within some time, it will come for the same IP addresses. See, same IP addresses. The IP address did not change. So when you reboot, it will not change. When you stop the instance, it will definitely change. You getting the point? Now, yesterday we also saw some of the element, like you can also change the stop protection or termination protection, meaning if you can enable termination protection so that you can avoid the accidental termination of your server. Accidental termination of your server. Okay, but what if this is not allowed? Okay, let me enable it first and then I will show you, and I will try to terminate this. So it is not terminating, failed to terminate an instance. But what is the situation if this settings is not there? If we have not enabled, if you delete the server, what is going to happen? Your entire application data will go. Isn't it? Your entire application, your entire data will go. You getting the point? So in order to avoid these circumstances, there is something called as backup. Backup in the sense we will take the data into another snapshot, into another disk as a snapshots or a entire backup. Think that as if you're, you have your notes, okay, and you are taking a Xerox, or you have your Aadhaar card, okay, and you have your Xerox. So both are valid. If original is lost, you can anyhow take back the original from the Xerox copy. So similarly, backup is something related to the Xerox. Okay. So in real time and in all the organizations, we take backups. Okay. So let me show you to you in the diagram. So this is an EC instance, EC2 instance, and we take up the backup. Okay. So come back here. So yes, so this is an EC2 instance here. So, yeah, this is an EC2 instance. Okay. And this EC2 instance can have one disk, two disk, or three disk. It depends on your application and the project requirement. But for now, I am going to discuss only one disk. Okay. It can have minimum, I mean maximum of 27 disks per EC2 instance. You can attach at a single point of time 27 number of disks. Okay. And this means, suppose if you terminate this, this will go and this will, both the things will go off. Then what is the way? If someone is deleting the EC2 instance or terminating the EC2 instance accidentally, then what is going to happen? So we take a backup. Okay, so we take the backup. Okay, so this is abbreviated. I mean, it is pictorially represented as like this. So it is a backup. So we are backing up the EBS volume because our entire data resides on the EBS volume. This is just a compute power, guys. Please remember this. You're getting the point? So this is the EC2, EC2 in the sense EC2 is comprised of all these components which I discussed yesterday. But our entire data, that means our application, our log files, our application data, our user data, all those are residing in the EBS volumes. That is the hard disk, isn't it? So it is very important you take the backup of your EBS volume. So you might have seen that we always make use of an external hard disk, or we have a tendency to copy our files to some other location, like it might be in your, you will copy your what say, your important files and directory inside a Google Drive or something like that, or in an external hard disk. That is because if your computer crashes, you can still restore from that backup. Okay, similarly the same thing happens with our EC2 instances. So you can make use of the backup. So I'm writing here backup. Clear? So this is a backup. So backup you can take it in two ways. The first one is you can take directly. So take directly from EC2 management console. You getting the point? So yes, so I'm changing back to the, so backup you can take directly from the EC2 management console. Okay, so that is the exact direct copy of your EC2 instance. That means whatever you have, that will be converted into an Amazon machine image. Okay, take directly from EC2 management console and convert the EC2 into AMI. And again from that AMI you can launch back the same EC2 instance. This is one thing. And the second point is you can take snapshots. So what do you mean by snapshots? Snapshots of EBS volumes. Okay. So rather than taking the entire copy of the EC2 machine into AMI, you can take snapshots of EBS volume. Okay. So from snapshots, so that from snapshots you can create volumes or AMI. You're getting the point? Both are same. Okay, but the case 1 or case 2, but in the back end they are all stored in the S3 bucket. So whether case 1 or case 2, all the data will be stored in S3 bucket managed by AWS. You getting the point? So whether you take the entire backup of your EC2 instance as a AMI, that is also stored in S3 bucket, and you just take the snapshots of the EBS volume, and from that snapshots you can create volumes or AMI, but in both the cases they are all stored in the S3 bucket. You getting the point? And I'm going to prove it to you with the live examples. Okay, so now coming back to the hands-on, so now I have this EC2 instance running. I have EC2 EBS volume attached, my application is running, correct? But now I have not yet taken the backup. So how to take a backup? So go to the AWS management console and click on the actions. Go to the second last option, that is image and templates. Click on create image, give it a name. Give it a name as EC2 demo. can give the same name. Okay. Now after the image description, there is something called as no reboot. What does it mean? It means when you enable no reboot while taking up the backup, the server will not be rebooted. So sometimes while taking the backup, it may get rebooted. So if you enable this option, your server will not get rebooted at any cost. So this we will enable for production environment. You're getting the point, right? And just create the backup. That's it. Now if you go to this, you can name it here EC2 EC2 demo and save it. And as you can see, it is creating. And in the status, you can see it is in the pending state, because what is happening here, it is creating in the backend, it is creating snapshots. See, block devices, it is creating a snapshot. So, and how we can cross verify? Just copy this AMI ID and go to the snapshot section under the Elastic Block Store. Click on the snapshot and just search for your AMI ID. So this is the 8 GB. So it is valid snapshot ID. Okay, so this will take a while. You getting the point? Now it is completed. So I have the AMI as EC2 demo. Now I don't need to worry whether my instance gets terminated. I don't need to, because the same application I can bring back to life with the backup. Just I will show you. So let me terminate it. Terminate the instance. EC2 demo. Terminate. So let it go, and this application is also down. So as you notice here, if I refresh, this will go, this will be gone because I have terminated. Now as you can see, it is trying to connect, but it will fail in some seconds because I have terminated. So this is terminated, this will fail. But I can bring back the same. Just see the data here. I'll bring back the same application by the AMI. Just watch here. So go to the AMI section and select this and launch the instance. So I'll name it as same EC2 demo, and here it has already selected my EC2 demo. Select the same thing, T2 micro key pair, select the same key pair and edit the your network settings. Okay, and select the security groups and launch. And now it will have another IP address. Just replaced with this IP address, you will get back the same application. So now at this time, I have not passed any user data, nothing I have passed. I have just launched the EC2 instance using the backup AMI. You getting the point? Of course, this will take some time because it is just getting launched. So as you can see, I'm getting back the same data. See, 10.0.2.154. See, 10.0.2.254. Even this is 154. This is 209. Because the application data is the same of the previous server. You getting the point? Okay. Now there is another method to take the backup. So rather than going here, going to image and take the create image, you can go to the storage section, go to your volumes, select the volume and click on create snapshots. And you can give the name here and you can create snapshots. And from the snapshot section, okay, you can go to action and you can create image. Just you have to give the AMI. Both are same. Okay. So whether you create AMI or you create snapshots, okay. So you need to create an AMI to launch an EC2 instance. Or else you can simply create the volume. Create volume from the snapshot and you can attach it as a secondary disk to the EC2 instance. Secondary disk in the sense you can attach two disk, three disk, four disk depending upon your requirement. Okay, so this you can do it. Clear? Understood? So this is the concept of backup. But once you delete the snapshot, right? Okay, then your backup will also go off. So there is no point. You're getting the point, isn't it? Now, now you have launched another EC2 instance with the backup, as you can see. Now you have made some changes. Okay, for example, so let me log into. So this is coming from IP blah blah blah. It is displaying. So let me log into the machine and try to do something. Okay, so connect, copy this, and paste it. So you have to mention EC2 dash user. Yes. So now become root by typing sudo hyphen I. Then go to the directory cd slash var www html. So this is the default directory for your web application. And if you do ls, you can see the index.html. So now it has taken the this IP. So I want to change. I will change it here. This is coming from backup server. Save it. Now the same thing you can see, it is coming here, right? Now if I just refresh, it is coming from the backups. Now I have made some data changes in the data. Okay. See, if you take the backup once, it will not suffice. In the sense, it will not be sufficient. You need to take the backup daily. So that is the reason we take backups on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly, and once in 2 months, depending upon your application requirement on the project requirement. So this is coming from the backup server. You're getting the point? So now if I terminate this, so this data will go. Again, if I launch from the old day, old AMI, again I'll get back the what? This is coming from so and so blah 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 IP address it will mention. That is because once you have launched the new instance from the backup, you have not taken the second backup. Okay, so this is something known called as a incremental backup. This is known as a incremental backup. Okay, so now what you have to do? Again, you have to go to the instance, go to the actions, image and templates. Again, you have to create image. Isn't it? Because the data will be changing on a hourly basis. Because the application will be writing the logs files and it will changing something, and some developers are changing the data and some users are adding something into the database. So this is continuously some of the operations, that is CRUD operations are happening. It means create, read, update and deletion. CRUD operations. So that is why it is mandatory to keep taking backups. Okay, so let me explain it to you in the diagram here. So now I have taken the backup here. Okay, now every regularly I should keep on taking the backups. Yeah, so this is the backup number 2. This is the backup number 3. So day 1, day 2 and day 3. So this is like taking the backup. So you can take this backup, by the step, option 1 or option 2. Both are same. You getting the point? So both are same. Okay, because in the day 1 it is not yet changed. In the day 2 you are adding some other disk. You are adding disk number 2. So that will be backed up in the backup number 2. So that is why guys, it is very very important for you to take backups. Backups are very very crucial in organization. Okay, and of course this is a manual process. You may think that what is this again I need to do, and I need to go here and go to image and create. No, it's not like that. You can take it manually, but there is a way to automate this. Okay, so there is a way to automate this, and there is a service called as AWS backup. So you have to go to the search bar and type backup. You will get this dashboard. Okay, see, AWS backup centrally manages and automates backups across the AWS services. Okay, so first you need to start with the backup plan. Meaning you need to tell the service that as per this plan I am going to take the backup, or you need to take the backup for me. So in this backup plan, when you select this, so build a new plan. Select the option known as build a new plan. You can name as daily. Daily in the sense I am going to take the backup daily. Okay, fine. Then rule name also you can name it as same thing. It doesn't matter. So rule name also you can mention the same thing as a daily. You're getting the point? So rule name. Then what does it mean by the backup vault? So vault is something as a logical container or a logical, you can say a locker room where your backups are stored. So you can keep it in the default backup vault, or you can create the new backup vault by the same name daily. But in the backend, they are going to be stored in the S3 bucket. Getting the point? Okay, for example, you can create a new value. So I can say daily. That is fine. Okay, and you can choose the default key. So whenever you are creating a locker, you need a key, right, to open it. So that is this key, encryption key. So you can create backup vault. Perfectly fine. Then next, what is the backup frequency? Okay, you have named it daily and you have created, but what is the frequency? Frequency in the sense you have to take daily, or once in a week, or once in a month, or bi-weekly. So that will be defined by the this expression. So daily, weekly, hourly. So every hour you can take backup, or every month you can take backup. So if you select month, it will say on which day, like second, third, fourth, or you can mention the date also. Okay. If you select weekly, on like every all the weeks, or only on Thursday, or only on Friday, so like that you can select. Okay, or custom expression, you can always give your own expression. Means every half an hour, every 2 hours. So for that you can select. But usually we don't do this. We can take the backup daily. That is more than enough for production. So for production workloads, we take the backup daily. Okay, and the backup timing will be from 5 a.m. UTC. Okay, you can change that to your own timing window. Okay, but it doesn't matter, you can keep it as it is. Now you're getting the point. You can choose your own timings at what time the backup should start, but usually you can keep it default because it is recommended. Okay, next, what does it mean to transition to cloud storage? Now in S3, I told you guys in the previous session that S3 is the cheapest storage solution when compared to EBS. But even in S3, there is a different class storage classes, where you can save cost on the your backups, isn't it? If you are having a large amount of backup data, then it is very important that you move your data or your backup to a cheapest storage class. So that is the meaning of this cold storage. Cold storage is something like moving your data to a refrigerator, meaning very cold. In the back end, the disk are very cheapest, but the retrieval time is very, very slow. Just like if you keep a milk in a refrigerator, it will get freezed and it will become solid. And when you take back the, or if you want to use the milk, but as you have kept it in the refrigerator, it is very solid. And again, you take back from the refrigerator and you keep, keep it in the water so that it will come back to the liquid form. So it will take time to come back to its original form. So that is the meaning of cold storage. So here also, that is why sorry, they have named it as a cold storage. The reason is they will transition the data into a very cheapest disks, but the cost is low, but the retrieval, meaning if you want the data back, the retrieval time is like 6 hours, 12 hours, like that. So you can transition your data after so and so many days, but it is not required here because you can keep the 7 days backup mentioning in the retention period. So you can keep 7 days backup, and once you reach the 8th day, you can delete the oldest backup, isn't it? Say for example, coming back to the diagram here, so this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7, and day 8. So now we have all the backups: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the recent backup. So as per the retention period, it will delete this. Okay, then it will create the another backup like this. Then it will delete this. So this way the cycle will continue. You getting the point? So this is known as the life cycle of a backup. Okay, so you cannot keep the backup for infinite time. So you need to keep rotating to save cost. Okay, so that is the retention period. Okay, and while doing so, you can also copy your, and by default on which region you're taking the backup, it will be stored in Northern Virginia. But for data high availability, it means if something happens to Northern Virginia, if there is some terrorist attack or bomb blast, if entire data center goes down, for that region you can also copy to another region, but there is additional cost for that. So you can copy to your Mumbai region, that is also it is possible, but usually we don't do this. Okay, and this is, and you can create the backup plan. So your backup plan is created and you can see it under daily. And once you have created the backup plan, you go inside the backup plan and start. It is just a plan, but you have to start assigning the resources, right? What you want to backup. So that will be defined under resource assignments. So go to the resource assignments and click on assign resources and click on second option. Click on EC2 and EC2, and you can select the EC2 demo and click on assign resources. That's it. So once you assign the resource, every day it is going to take the backup, and I'm not going to assign it because unnecessary we will land into costing. Okay, so just practice this, and whenever it is taking the backup, it will be stored inside the AMI section here. So it will be stored one after the other. Getting the point? Okay. So this was the concept of backups. Okay, and you can automate, and this is the way we automate. And how to delete the backup plan? Just select it and click on delete. That's it. It will be deleted. But this will not cost you anything for creating the backup plan. Okay, but once you attach any resource to the backup plan, and if you leave it as it is going to take backups on a daily basis, and you are going to be charged for that. Getting the point? So this was the concept of AWS backup. So any doubt, guys? Any doubts? So you can backup EBS volume, EC2, RDS instances, DynamoDB, Elastic File System, Storage Gateway, and FSX. So these are some of the storage options provided by AWS. Okay, and guys, always remember to please terminate the instance which you have created to avoid unnecessary billing. So go to the EC2 instance section and select the EC2 which you have created and terminate the instance. Okay, and also you should go to the AMI and deregister it. Okay, go to the AMI and select on deregister AMI. Okay, and go to the snapshots and you have to delete it to avoid the unnecessary charges, and delete the snapshots. Clear? So now, as I have terminated, the application will also go down. Getting the point? Okay, so I'm going to share the link with you. So you have to go through this. I'm going to share it in the group. So you have to go through this backup. Okay, clear, guys? Any doubt, guys? Okay, so as you can see, this is the workflow life cycle. So this is the AWS backup service, and the vault I was talking about, it is stored here. So there is a detailed explanation given here. So please go through. Okay, guys. So if there are no doubts, so I'm going to stop the recording.